Welcome back to Tales from the Trash Can. I am Big Daddy ColdSteel coming at you with the jaw of a Greek god and the voice of an angel. And today, we are going to be just absolutely dumpstering this product, the Irwin Tap and Die set. And this is standard, i.e. fractional 41 piece, model number 24606 from Irwin Hansen. Now made in China, not USA. Do not let them fool you. Now, I have been asked why. I mainly do negative reviews. And the answer to that is just plain simple, you guys. I'm a champion of the people. Okay. There is nothing worse than getting scammed. So you don't get medals for doing what you're supposed to do. You get medals for doing more than you're supposed to do. So I do say positive things when a product exceeds my specifications. But generally, I would like to make everybody aware of when it's just garbage. Okay? Hence the trash can. I mean, you don't go to a restaurant and order like a hot, juicy beef burger and the waiter brings you a hot dog. You understand what I'm saying here? Because there's nothing worse than ordering a hot, juicy burger and getting a wiener. So, that being said, let's move on to picture number one. And this is the case. And I had real problems with the case. Well, mainly because it's about 5 pounds, which you would expect from a solid metal tap and die set. It's heavy. And I can just see this cheap snap breaking shortly. I mean, it's a crappy little snap. And my dad used to have a tap and die set, by the way, which I'm going to refer to again later in this. And it had a metal case. You've heard me complain about plastic in the past. I'm going to complain again, you guys. Heavy metal objects do not belong in cheap garbage plastic containers. Okay, so this is number one. I can just imagine you pulling this thing out of your toolbox or off the shelf and this snap just having catastrophic failure and every tap and die crashing down upon your head. So this is problem one. Here's the lid. I mean, the colors are great. Don't get me wrong. Colors are nice. But this is a piece of crap. This is unacceptable. Would it cost you $2 more to add to the price of the item? To put it in a tin can, like with a latch, with a locking latch. I don't know. This is just me. So here's what it looks like. The presentation is okay. The pieces, again, I'm not a machinist. So to me, at first glance, the pieces are pretty well machined at first glance. Everything came oiled. Nothing was dirty. Nothing was rusty. Looked pretty solid. The screwdriver was a little suspect. I had some serious thoughts about if I turned a screw, it would just snap. Didn't look like it was high quality H2O, but, we'll see. But other than that, it was pretty polished, looked pretty good. So I was excited, you guys, to start tapping and dyeing things, which I did. So I grabbed the handle, and what I noticed is that, and I learned a new word, it's called knurling. If you don't know what this grippy stuff is, it's called knurling. I got yelled at for saying it was grippy stuff, so I was told it's called knurling. And what it is it's they run it through a mill, and they run the cutter through one way, and then another wheel goes the other way, like this. But apparently on this one, they rolled one over flat. See, you can see the individual knurls, or whatever you want to call them, are just leveled out. And it's slippery. So it looks like it's got good grip. It really just doesn't. And I wasn't a big fan of that. And the deburring on this, you can see the little sharp. Okay, but whatever. Not the worst thing. I wouldn't send it back over that. But it should have had a little bit more grip. The polish was beautiful, though. I mean, almost mirror finish. Super shiny. I mean, that was nice. It came oiled. Look at my soft, supple hands right there. Mildly clean, some metal flake in there, but, whatever. That's what you got to deal with when you're working with tools. So that was a good thing. All right. And then you pick up the dies. Now, only having an iPhone, latest iPhone, I was not able to zoom in, but I was able to put this in an angle where you can see, and I think right away you're going to understand, bang. You know what that is? It's a chip. It's a chip. Right away. And I mean, I guess you can kind of see it on the other edge, but the light catches it, right? So that's all I needed to do. And some of the teeth were already broken. This is what you got to deal with when you're coming out of China. You could kind of see it from here. Like, look, this is another one, by the way. Look at the edge of this is already chewed up. And right here. Okay, so it's kind of polished, looks good, but not so great on a small level where you actually have to do the threading. Another complaint, knurling. Or lack thereof knurling. So on this, which should be a thumb screw, by the way, on the hexagonal dies, this should be a thumb screw, I believe. And instead it's like a whatever screw, straight screw. And it's so slippery. You put this thing in, you can't like thumb screw it. And I didn't think the threading was fine enough. I think it should have been, it was like a coarse threaded twisty screw. And there should have been some knurling on there so that you could put it in, like kind of hand tighten it a little bit. So what happened was I put I put in a die, and I went to go grab the screwdriver and it fell right out. Even though I thumb screwed it, because you just can't get it tight enough unless it's, you use a screwdriver right away. So you have to always use a screwdriver, which I get it. But come on, you can't put the little grippy things on the side. Now this one had it. So this is the smaller wrench. Some reason they decided they were going to put some knurls into this little guy. But on the bigger one where it actually mattered, they didn't do that. So let's get to the heart of the matter here. By the way, Tap Magic, whatever this stuff is, great. Pick this stuff up on Amazon. Haven't done a positive review for them, but they could take a little piece of this now. The stuff's great. It doesn't stink too bad, and it works really good. I mean, I use it for drilling and all kinds of stuff. So Tap Magic, in this little hole, this is what's considered soft carbon steel. Now, how do you know that? Well, because I did a spark test, you guys. Because as time goes on, everybody complains. Oh, how do you know? How do you know you weren't drilling into the space shuttle? Well, I did a spark test just so everybody can stop complaining. And it turns out it's soft carbon steel. Now, this is supposed to be some super Duluth, I don't know, tungsten situation. And that's a whole lot stronger than crappy soft carbon steel. And I should not have been able to snap this bit off in this dinky little hole. This is look at the size of my thumb. I'm not an ogre. I'm not a gargantuan. So you can see how big my thumb is in comparison to this little rod. Right now, I understand smaller taps. Snap easier. But I was doing it one-handed, and I was going maybe eighth turns, backing out. As you can see, there's no chips. Not really. There's a little bit on the outside. I was going real slow, and I almost got to the end of it, and it finally snapped. And I was just astounded. Because we had here, Hansen 832 course. And I was just astounded because we had a tap and die kit when I was a kid, and you couldn't snap them for anything. I think if I dropped one, it would have fell through the earth. My dad used to be like in engineering type of work, so he had I guess it was a very expensive kit. I'm not really sure, but they weren't individual ones like everybody keeps telling me. And what I've heard is, oh, you're being really too hard on them. This is only a $100 set. And really, you're not supposed to buy a set. You're supposed to buy them individually. And I've heard all that blah, blah, blah. But you know what, you guys, let me just tell you something. Somebody who's not an engineer, it's re-fucking-freshing to go out and buy a set that has the most common sizes already there. because I don't know what sizes of screw, like, you understand, like taps and dies match up with what, and what if you buy the wrong one? Oh, now just go buy another one. And some of these go for $40 each up to $400 each. So I get it, right? I mean, you got all these parts for $100. But honestly, if it's just gonna break like crap, why didn't I just give Irwin $100 plus tax and whatever else I paid, and them not give me anything? Okay, because that's how I look at it. If you pay for something, it should do the job. Otherwise, that's like ordering a burger and getting a wiener. And this is a wiener, this is a broken wiener, and it goes in the trash can, just like all the other things that come out of China. So I hope this helps you, and if you are in the market for a tap and die set, I highly recommend you do what the professionals have advised me to do. Not buy Irwin Hansen Chinese tool, dumpster, garbage, trash can level stuff, and somehow or other figure out the individual taps and dies you need and buy a reputable wrench and spend 10 times the price. So that's the advice, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, because now I have to waste time drilling out this hole. Let's see. Can I go back? No, of course I can't. It's not going to let me. Yeah. Now I have to go back and drill this out with a diamond bit, and that's going to take me a while. So it's going to take me 10 times as long to get this out of there without ruining the hole, all right, than it would be if I had not been a cheap person and bought a actual non-Chinese bit and did it the right way in the first place. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. Feel free to leave comments, and I will see you again. This is Big Daddy ColdSteel, Tales from the Trash Can, with the Irwin Tap and Die garbage set.